half. There it goes. And we are go as Dane Tuapiki gets us underway. Dragons will get first touch of the footy. And both sides, as we said, a warm day here in Sydney. It's a defence on that far side of the field. Cleary was one of those in the tackle. Ilias floating across field, comes back to the right. Glover, they link up. Ramsey finds Granis. Granis wants room, flicks back inside. Fiona, outstanding work! Great work, Nixa Granis. Malyson. Glover, Pacific Tonga. Takes 4 to stop him. Good. Malyson. Ilias, Glover, linking up nicely. Ramsey, the tip on. Fiona for the corner. And scores. Such an important, this is 11 minutes to the break. Cleary, what's he thinking? Front door pass, Graham-Taufa, and they do score. 11 minutes to the break. Cleary, what's he thinking? Front door pass, Graham-Taufa, and they do score. Have a look at the pass here. Glover, he wants to run it underneath and finds Liu with a head of steam. Finau slips in. Goes front door. Hallengar, who's going to drive over? Gets the ball down. They do come up with the cash. Oh, Hansen just floating across field. Dummies once, twice. Finds Tafua. Tafua still going. Pops the pass back. Hansen backing up. Cleary wanted it. Tips it. They go. Harper. Harper goes himself. Still going. Morgan Harper. I thought he might have butchered it, but he scores. I've been on the app. The Bar TV app for the player of the match. Murdoch Marcella, he's okay now. Throws the pass. Couldn't find anyone clear. Now Ramsey picks it up. He's going to go inside, outside, and straight to the try line and seals the deal. And look at the enjoyment. Cody Ramsey. As I said, the pass didn't find him. He found it and took off.
It's the New Zealand Warriors in this one. The George Illawarra Dragons going straight through to the grand final with a 24-10 verdict. Matt Fairguy's doubled in the first 15 minutes. Set off alarm bells for the Warriors. Moala Graham-Taufa's trying getting them back into the contest. And then it was a 6-point game until the final 5 minutes or so, but a penalty. And then Cody Ramsey stealing that one right at the end was more than enough for the Dragons to secure their first New South Wales Cup grand final appearance since 2016 when they were known as the Illawarra Cutters. They went on to win that grand final too and play in the state championship, which I believe they won back in 2016 over the Burleigh Bears. But let's take a look at some of the key performers. We're starting with the Warriors, and by God, considering what we've seen from them this year, it was a disappointing performance at times. They had 46% possession, they made 12 errors, they were conceding a lot of penalties, and they missed 37 tackles, something we have not seen much from the Warriors this season. They will get players back. You look at Tanner Smith, Sam Healy, amongst the likes that they could get back. They could get some other names back too, and that's something we'd be eager to watch an hour before kickoff, because there's some names that have not appeared on the team sheet yet that David Tangata might be able to rely on. But let's talk about this game a little bit more. Hey, let's kick off with Morgan Harper. A try, a line break, 11 runs, 103 metres, 13 tackles with 4 missed, 1 ineffective. He's a free agent heading into 2026. And whilst his NRL time might be pretty much over at this point, with all due respect, it's really an interesting little point to see where Morgan goes with his career from here. He looks comfortable in New Zealand at the moment, and I'm pretty sure he will be pretty happy just doing things on his own. Next up, Moala Graham-Taufa. He had a try, 15 runs, 135 metres, a line break, 4 tackle breaks, 8 tackles, 3 missed, 1 ineffective. He's really the next cab off the rank in terms of the Warriors outside back core, but even he's been slipping down the pecking order. Andrew Webster's been willing to go without back rowers in at the centres the last couple of weeks, so that is a very, I don't want to say it's an indictment on Moala, but it's something that he will have to work tenfold on in the off-season to get back in the good graces of Andrew Webster. And then Micaiah Taufa, now his minutes are going to be back fluctuating next week with Sam Healy's impending return. He had 67 minutes in hooker, 46 metres, a line break, 2 tackle breaks, an offload, 46 tackles in a team-high display with 4 misses and 1 ineffective. For the Dragons, though, our man of the match was Cody Ramsey. He picked up the match-winning try, 18 runs, 161 metres, a line break, 7 tackle breaks, an offload, throwing a line break, assisted a try assist. He was just awarded this week the New South Wales Cup Coaches Award for the St George Illawarra Dragons, and what a season this man has had. There's some interesting chatter going on about his future at the moment. I'm not sure where it's going to play out for Cody, with all due respect. Obviously, the Dragons offering him a training trial. He has since declines that offer and seeing what is available for him on the open market. Next up, Matt Feagai. He had a double in this one, 14 runs, 157 metres, 3 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks, a classy finisher, and it was on display. But the main wildcard, Jacob Halengahu, he had a try, 11 runs, 107 metres, a line break, 8 tackle breaks with 23 tackles, no misses, and 1 ineffective. So the Dragons, the first team through to the grand final, picking up a 14-point victory over the Warriors in this analysis. Well, next up, we're heading still at Leichhardt Oval for the second semi-final between the Parramatta Eels and the Canberra Raiders. The Eels were losers last start, while Canberra welcomed back their team that played NRL last week in their shoes this week. How will they go? Let's tune to all the action.
Air first receiver. Volkman, Twiddle, wide pass, races on, Tonga for the corner, and Jake does score. Dangerous here. Danny Levi scheming. Which way when he goes? Finds Noah Martin. Noah Martin finds the hole, brings it round. Lussick. Dummied left, comes right. Twiddle goes wide. Lovely pass. Tongue off for the line and does score. What about the eyes up footy? The quick pass from Twiddle. Parker. Mitch Prest out there for Patuki Case. Lussick. Kia. Volkman. Oh, he ran out of Twiddle. I'll tell you what, he's just going to stroll through. We'll have to go back and have a look. Well, we won't have a look at anything. Referee's wide for Levi. Sanders. Cook. Anderson. Does well. Keeps it alive. Cook now finds Samoa down this grandstand. Puts the kick through. The kick's good. Chevy Stewart with the soccer skills. Twiddle. Chevy Stewart still there. Scores! Outstanding work from the Raiders. She's in the air for the last tackle. Volkman, he'll put it along the ground. It's been touched. Here they come. Right. Twiddle, why would you not expect any more? He has had a game. It's been enterprising, and I like how Volkman and Talatona have linked up. There's a double pump. Volkman, beautiful work. He sold 1, he sold 2, and he said that'll do. Right foot flicks it out the back. Cook is there to take it. Now Noah Martin gets over halfway. He's lost control. Referee's fallen over, and Volkman's off and gone. Too quick. Volkman, here comes Stewart. Volkman swan dives and says, thank you very much. I'll have 2. Packer, Martin for 2, gets it. They've been trying to just create opportunities. Asamoah. Packer. Martin. Now Cook goes wide. Talmore P.O. down this grandstand edge. He has a look. Back inside Stewart. Stewart looks. Finds Ethan Sanders. Ethan Sanders for the post. And the Raiders do score. Half Volkman. Asamoah waiting for it. It's been tipped back. Play on it'll be. Volkman looking for 3 and grabs it. Stewart can't get away from Funariuta. Looks back inside for Packer. On tackle 4, the pass is not great. Sanders does well. Now catch and pass for Cook. Cook, wait till it coming. Gets there. Adam Cook did well. He looked up.
Getting the right to take on the New Zealand Warriors next week with a 36-30 win over the plucky Canberra Raiders at Leichhardt Oval in the final match of the quadruple header that they had there at Leichhardt on Sunday, and it was Ronald Volkman, the star. We'll talk about him right off the top as our Man of the Match award recipient, but the Raiders, they were far from disgraced in a fair dinkum effort out there in the late window match, but it was a game that had a lot of talking points about it, some controversy at times, but let's go through some key performers now as Parramatta moved on to next weekend, and it's Te Hurunui Twiddle. He had 2-point tries in a 16-point haul. He had 11 runs to 88 metres, 2 tackle breaks and offload, a line break, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists. The passing game that I've seen from Twiddle this season is a go or broke style player. He can either deliver an absolute peach of a pass and you'll be on your way to points, or he can throw an intercept and the game can completely go away from you. I've seen a lot of the great from Twiddle this season, and he'll have to continue at that best to beat this juggernaut of a Warriors side if they have struggled against throughout the season. Then we go to our man of the match. I mentioned him off the top, Ronald Volkman. He had a hat-trick in this one, 16 runs, 152 metres, 4 tackle breaks. Defensively, a little bit sus. We saw him get absolutely ran over the top of there by Noah Martin. He also had a line break assist and 2 try assists. The work that Volkman could do, it's just a scoop and score style mentality. That 50-metre runaway off the Canberra mistake we saw was so important in the context of the game, and he's got that real instinctful X factor about him that is going to be very key as we get through this final series. And then Tony Mataele played 50 minutes in this one. He had 13 runs, 118 metres, 5 tackle breaks, 17 tackles, 1 miss, 3 ineffective. Mataele has been the constant from the Eels pack this season. The one advantage I think that the Parramatta Eels might have, the Warriors have only played, I think, 1 or 2 games under lights all season. Parramatta have played a couple of night games by now. They're used to the lights. That could be something that is a little bit of an unknown quantity heading into this preliminary final. We'll touch more about that in a matter of moments. But for the Raiders, Chevy Stewart, he got a try, 15 runs, 158 metres. I have some doubts over the try he scored. He did a little bit of a shove to the back of Hyper Twiddle, but it was all cleared by referee Daniel Luttringer. He had a line break assist, a try assist, 10 tackle breaks and an offload, but it begs the question, is this the last time that we see Chevy Stewart in the colours of the Canberra Raiders in 2026? Because there are other talks going on at the moment that Chevy Stewart will be departing the club at the end of the season and looking at potential options. He is welcome to stay if he can't find a home, but the Raiders offered him the opportunity to look elsewhere just to broaden his horizons as a first-grade player. Then we go to Noah Martin. He had a double, 10 runs, 113 metres, 4 line breaks, a line break assist, 7 tackle breaks, an offload as well, 25 tackles with 1 missed. He was the Canberra New South Wales Cup Coaches Award winner at their awards night this week. He was a very, very sound player for them this season. And of course, we've got some fun content planned for the end of the season with this New South Wales Cup. We're going to do some season reviews and analysis for some of those players as well, so don't miss that one. And then we go Trey Mooney. He had 58 minutes in this one, 13 runs, 104 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 6 offloads, 34 tackles with just 2 misses. The bloke's an absolute monster, and Newcastle have got a good one. If Justin Holbrook could get the best out of Trey Mooney in this pack next season, then hello, things are going to get rather interesting. Well, now we're on to our road to CommBank Stadium, and as we see there, the Dragons have earned that first ticket through to the grand final, where they will play the winner of the Warriors-Parramatta clash, and then, of course, all eyes on that preliminary final, 5:15 on Saturday, the clash between the New Zealand Warriors and the Parramatta Eels from Jubilee Stadium. We're very much looking forward to that one, and of course, we'll keep you up to date on results on League Scene Pod, and also check out League Unlimited for all the latest on that semi-final. Well, the QLD Cup final series also got underway this week, and it's the second week where the Redcliffe Dolphins are looking to continue to fight from 5th position against the Townsville Blackhawks, who have stumbled into the final series and are hoping for a turnaround. Let's go to Jury Forbes and Immortal Wally Lewis.
Second marker 40!
Knocking on the door 20 metres away. Donteray Louis to his former Pride teammate Partridge on the inside. What about the ball from Dobson? Back to Will Partridge. 8 metres out. Hodges. Stuckey out to Campagnolo. The shift is on. Short to Hampson. Looking for the offload. Back to Campagnolo. And
on the other side of that, not making too much territory when they get to the other end of the field. Here's an opportunity.
On a platter for Law in the corner. This time, trouble here, Josh James. Trouble for Townsville. Joshua James gets there.
Three clubs, not just the Dolphins, but the Northern Pride and the Falcons. So put that in perspective, Craig Bellamy 69% at the Melbourne Storm. Where's he going to try here, Drew?
What a take. Sorry, Adam Miles with an absolute speculator onto Dobson. A miraculous try to the Dolphins. If it wasn't a knock on, Wally, I thought it went forward.
It did. go forward.
Beyond Odo, Townsville play continues. 5 by lower on the outside of Dobson, skips away, still going 5 by lower on the inside to Beyond Odo. Bailey, Beyond Odo.
And how much are we going to talk about that knock on now?
By the BMD Premiership and Host Plus Cup Grand Finals. Tickets are available now via ticketek.com.au. Opachich gets it away to Partridge early, 10 metres to go. Dowson can't get there in time. Will Partridge. Batama, Sheldon Batama, who captained the Dolphins, their 22nd or 2022 Grand Final appearance.
Oh no.
And a penalty. 10 metres out directly in front. Be the disappointment of the Blackhawks in the background as Partridge.
In New South Wales, why not a shock in Queensland? The Townsville Blackhawks, who were riding high, doing so well, have just absolutely fallen off a heap to finish the season. And it's so sad because they made so many great gains under Terry Campese this season, and they just went down at the end, 22 points to 16. That Willie Partridge try late, and then James Tamo giving the old genuflex to the knee there of one of the Dolphins players sealed the fate of the Mendy Blackhawks in 2025. But it's a season, nonetheless, that this team can be proud about. Dudley Dudley emerging as one of the leading and one of the most exciting players in this competition. Jaden Hodges continuing his career renaissance in his old age, while Josh Stuckey continues to prowl and press for a train and trial spot next season with any club that could have him. But for Redcliffe, though, they were absolutely outstanding and deserve full credit for this one. Let's go through some players. Speaking of cold heroes, Khalifa Law, ladies and gentlemen. He had a try, 10 runs, 127 metres, 2 line breaks, a try assist, 5 tackle breaks too. A former Kiwi doing great things on the wing, leading the side in 2025. Khalifa doing a great job this season on the sting. You've also got likes of Matty Wright over there, and as I mentioned earlier, Jaden Hodges doing some great things with this football team. Fullback Declan Dowson, now he did a sound job filling in for Lennox Toba, but there are some plays he would like back in this game. I'll talk about some effort areas where Zachariah Miles was impressive. I thought that high ball was a little bit unnerved at times. He had that one which led to the Dobson try that was a little bit uneasy. But other than that, I thought he was pretty sound. He had a line break assist, 5 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, and also 145 metres, beg my pardon. And then for Jack Campagnolo, a try, a line break, 2 line break assists, a try assist, 2 offloads, a forced dropout, 80% tackle efficiency. The Italian international doing all he can to pick this side up off the campus in this game. For Redcliffe, though, our man of the match was centre Will Partridge. 14 points from 2 tries and 3 goals, 13 runs, 109 metres, a line break, 3 tackle breaks, 21 tackles, 1 miss, 2 ineffective. The man from Norfolk Island continuing to go above and beyond this season for the Redcliffe Dolphins and really benefited from Eric Smith's coaching. Zachariah Miles next. I mentioned that some of those areas where Declan Dowson lagged, Zachariah Miles didn't. I just thought that throughout the game, Miles was attacking it. He was going after them throughout the contest. 14 runs, 103 metres, a line break assist, and a try assist, 6 tackle breaks to boot, and as I mentioned, making everything a contest. And then Tom Opachich, he's a name we haven't heard in a while. A line break, a try assist, 4 runs for 41 metres, an offload, 31 tackles with just 4 misses. And the man, formerly from Hull Kingston Rovers, North Queensland, the Brisbane Broncos had a run with him too in the beginning of his career, as well as the Parramatta Eels most recently in Australia. So where does this leave Redcliffe next? Well, they've got to go and play Burleigh, the minor premiers of the Queensland Cup this season, and they've had some interesting clashes throughout the time. Burleigh in round 20 won by 30 points to 12, and that was a fairly even game. It was 12-all at halftime before 3 second-half tries sealed that fate there. Meanwhile, at KO Stadium earlier in the season, it was a bit of a tight tussle at times between these two sides, so it'll be very intriguing to see how they perform towards the end of this campaign. Burleigh as well, with that huge advantage of a home final. Well, next up, we're going to BMD Cougaree Oval. The Chook Petter in full force. It is the Wynnum Manly Seagulls taking on the Ipswich Jets. Can Ipswich do it from 8th, or the might of Wynnum be too strong?
Premiership winning Brisbane Tiger, former Storm NRL player, and now Madden. Quick hand, Sutton, it goes outside here to Philatonga, and Ronald Philatonga. Last tackle coming up. Sutton, little kick in behind. It's a good kick, tricky one. Oh, he made it look easy there, did John O'Ruben. And then the pass was errant to Hayden. Scooped up by Bukowski, who plants the Steeden down right in front of the Chook. The Broncos contracted half. Now Bukowski will go himself. Cameron Bukowski as he salutes the Chook 10. Former schoolboy star sent to England for some development. Now back on our shorts. Lovely short ball to Corey Ross. He's got the fullback to beat. Ross is over. Corey Ross. When his team needed something, he put... Former Palm Beach Currumbin schoolboy Oscar Bryant. There's the kick from Teapa. This is better from the Jets. They get to it first. Batted back by Broadhurst. Here's Lyu. And Ben Lyu might go all the way here. He's claiming the try. The tackle made by Rashawn Denny, and now Bukowski on a hat-trick. Cameron Bukowski with sheer guts. Curry. Thank you, Adam. Last play. Madden, they'll go through the hands. Sutton, late. Wynnum Manly. Kieran Ross. Take me to the promised land. The Wynnum Manly Seagulls are heading to a preliminary final. 3. Late offload, Jarvis, inside ball, James Hill with the icing on the cake.
The preliminary final against the North's Devils in a 34-12 verdict there. It was a bit tight in the second half, but it was a first half rampage from Wynnum. 3 tries in the opening half an hour. Ipswich did a great job wrestling back momentum towards the end with those 2 tries to Corey Ross and Ben Liu, but then Cam Bukowski, a hat-trick for him, and then those 2 late tries, kind of blowing the scoreline out a little bit in Wynnum's favour. As Ipswich, though, their season comes to an end, unfortunately. We'll talk about some of their successes in just a moment, but let's now take a look now at our stats deep dive. Kicking off with our man of the match, Cameron Bukowski. As I just said, 59 minutes, a hat-trick of 40-20 to boot, 2 line breaks, 4 tackle breaks, 28 tackles with just the 1 miss. There is a hooker logjam at Brisbane. We've talked about it a little bit on the main show this year, and it's a really intriguing little dilemma. I mean, the Brisbane Broncos have explored letting not Payne Haas, Jesus, that's a story in itself, but they've let out exploring Blake Moser potentially going out on loan next season, and that is going to cause a couple of feathers to ruffle up, but it also opens a door for Cam Bukowski next season to boot as well. But no sign of Payne Haas going on loan anytime soon. The only place he's going on loan is Origin, not to any other NRL club. And then we go to James Hill. He picked up a try in 66 minutes, 17 runs, 174 metres, a line break, a tackle break, and offload. He's been really consistent throughout this final series, adding 19 tackles with just 1 miss, and you're having a very, very good day. And then Kalolo Saitauer, what more do I need to say about this man? Because there's not much left to say. 72 minutes on the edge, 18 runs, 157 metres, 15 tackle breaks. There's a reason this bloke's our second rower of the year this year. He's also led the Queensland Cup in tackle breaks, and he's also had 20 tackles with just the 1 miss. The bloke is impossible to tackle. He's just impossible to tackle. Meanwhile, for Ipswich, though, going back to when we started the lower grade report in 2023, this side was 0-20. They were 0-20. So to come full circle in 2 years with the work that Ben Cross initially did, and as well as Ty Ingebrigtsen has done over the last year and a half, I'd say, this team has done an awfully good job to get to this point, and there's still so much improvement left in them. Let's go through some players. We've touched on Oliver Pascoe, our Queensland Cup player of the season all year. 6 runs, 52 metres, a line break assist, a try assist. That was a peach of a pass he threw Corey Ross. And also 49 tackles with just 6 missed and 2 ineffective. I'm going to go to Arama Howe next because there's a lot to discuss around the Titans and around their recruitment and retention. There's a bit of a report going around. They're letting about 16 players go, at least. I heard that was the article that Travis Main was going on about. At least 8 are definitely gone, like your likes of Ryan Foran, Ben Liu, Harley Smith-Shields, who we've seen play for Ipswich throughout the year. But then Arama Howe's name's started to crop up a little bit too, because his minutes at the NRL level weren't good enough. And we've seen in this level, he is good enough to be playing more than 10 charity minutes a game, and he's looking for a bit of direction under Josh Hannay. He also, in this one, 80 on the edge, 10 runs, 124 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 25 tackles with 2 misses, and just 1 ineffective. A fair all-round display from Aramahow. And then Corey Ross, the former Rooster turned Bear, 59 minutes in this one, a try, 10 runs, 128 metres, a line break, a couple of tackle busts, 33 tackles with just the 4 misses. But as I said earlier, this year has been a gigantic success for the Ipswich Jets. To conclude the show, let's take a look at our roadmap to KO Stadium, and our preliminary finals are set. Saturday at 2:10, it's Burleigh against Redcliffe, while in the second preliminary final, it's the Norths Devils against Wynnum Manly. Now, these games can go either way, but I favour Burleigh and Norths to advance in this one. Wynnum can be bolstered by the return of Selwyn Cobbo, and that could bring them some bit of a spark out on that wing. Cobbo, obviously, with a point to prove to try and crack back into that Broncos side ahead of their preliminary final next in a fortnight's time. And as well, they'll be looking for a bit of revenge because in country round, it was a very controversial top-of-the-table game. Ben Farr was sent off for dissent in that game by referee Ben Watts. So I think Burleigh advancing that first preliminary final, but Redcliffe have the knack of surprising. Last year in a game where they were playing first place, the minor premiers, they turned up and put the pants off the Northern Pride. So the Redcliffe in an upset could be the play to go, but I think it'll be Burleigh and Norths to advance this week, moving through to play the winner of the New South Wales Cup Premiers when these two teams go head to head in the grand final. Well, that's our program for this week. A massive thank you for your company. As always, we're moving on to the business end of the year, and as I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of fun programs to plan throughout the rest of the season. Thanks for your support, and we'll catch you next week.